Hi everybody and welcome back to Room 9, our region's largest classroom. My name is Miss St. Louis and I'm a teacher at Rogers Elementary School in the Mehlville School District, and we are located in South St. Louis County. Today I'm here to teach a reading lesson that's geared towards students in 3rd grade, but all learners are more than welcome to join us. So let's get started. This week we are talking about all things grammar, one of my favorite topics. Yesterday, we dived in deep and we talked about nouns and we talked about verbs. So let's review those real fast because they're going to kind of come in handy today. First, we have nouns. Nouns are words that name people, places, things, or ideas. Verbs are words that show physical or mental action, being, or state of being. Now today, we're going to talk about adjectives and adverbs, and they are so much fun because when we read them in books or we use them in our own writing, they add a ton of flavor. So let's start with the adjectives. Adjectives are words that are used to describe nouns or pronouns, telling what kind, how many, or which one. So knowing what a noun is going to come in handy when we talk about those adjectives today. So let's talk about some examples of adjectives. We have blue, tiny, and hot. These words are describing words, so they can describe nouns. We could have a hot potato. Hot is the adjective describing our noun, potato. We could have a tiny bug. Tiny is the adjective that describes the bug. We could have a blue whale. Blue describes the whale, right? So we're using these adjectives to describe our nouns. So it makes things a little more interesting. We don't just have a whale, we have a blue whale, or we have a big blue whale, right? So we're explaining a little bit more, adding in some detail and some depth. It really adds a lot of color to our writing and our reading. So let's see if we can make a list to help brainstorm ideas that answer some of those questions. What kind, how many, or which one? So I'm going to bring in our handy dandy whiteboard. All right, so let's start with our first one. Which one? So we have to answer that question, right? Which one are we talking about? Well, we could be talking about this one, right? I want this one. I want that one. Okay? Right? If you asked which day, well, we want the second day. Right? I want the other one. I don't want that one. I want the other one. Okay, so those are words that can kind of help tell us which one are we talking about. Okay, what about what kind? What kind do you want? What kind do you think? Well, you want the blue kind, right? Maybe you want the blue car. You want the long rope. Good. You want the skinny piece. Good. Ooh, you want to be that tall person, right? You like that tall building. And our last one, how many, right? How many apples do you want? Do you want 1, 2, 3? Right? Do you want a few? Right? When we talk about time, how many minutes? Well, a couple minutes, right? Okay? So we can use these words to help describe things, and there are so many more that we could put up here, because the more that you add, the more detail we start to get from what you're talking about. So we can use a lot of these words when we think about things like color, size, temperature, taste, right? These are those describing words. We're using our senses to help us, right? So think about sight, smell, taste, what you hear, and what you feel. Those words make for great describing details. So, just like yesterday, we're going to start by reading some sentences and trying to pick out what the adjectives are in the sentence. Now remember, adjectives always describe nouns. Okay, so we're going to be near those nouns. Here's our first one. The snake loved laying out in the hot desert. Do you see an adjective here? Very good, it's hot, because it's not just a desert, it's a hot desert. Good. Next, the fluffy penguin swam in the cold water. Do you see any adjectives in this sentence? Hint, there's more than one. Very good, fluffy, right? That's describing our penguin. What kind of penguin? A fluffy penguin. What else do you see? Good, cold, right? It's cold water. We know that penguins like cold water. Cold, it's describing the temperature of the water. What kind of water is it? Very good. The strong wind blew over the tall tree. See any adjectives here? Very good, strong, the strong wind. And tall, tall tree. Very good, you guys are really getting the hang of this. My brother likes to climb tall volcanoes. Very good. Tall. What kind of volcanoes? Tall volcanoes. Hockey is a popular sport in St. Louis. What do you think? Very good. Popular, right? What kind of sport is it? It's a popular sport. Very good. Now, we're going to go into some more sentences, but these have blanks. Your job is to help me figure out some adjectives that we could put in these blanks, right? Answering those questions. Which one? What kind? How many? Here's our first one. Winnie is the blank dog ever. Well, what kind of dog is Winnie? The best? What else could we put there? The fluffiest? The smallest? Right? There's a lot of words we could use to describe Winnie. Could we put more than one in there? Yeah, the happiest, fluffiest dog ever. Okay, we can use more than one describing word when we describe things. Good, what about next? Vanilla ice cream is the blank flavor. What do you think? What's your opinion? What kind of flavor is it? Which one is it? The best? The worst? The greatest? I don't know. You have your own opinion, right? I think vanilla's the best flavor ever. I love vanilla ice cream. But some people don't, right? That's their opinion. All right, what's next? Today was the blank day of the year. Ooh. What kind of day was it? Is The best day, the worst day, the stormiest day, the hottest day, the coldest day. Which one was it? What do you think? It's pretty hot out, but I don't know if it's the hottest day. Not the coldest. Maybe the windiest? I don't know. There's a lot of words to describe days. Josh had the blank birthday ever. What kind of birthday did Josh have? Best? Worst? Silliest? Most fun? I don't know. I hope he had a great birthday, right? I hope it wasn't the worst birthday ever. I hope he had the greatest birthday ever, right? Good. This one's going to be a tricky one. Are you ready? Sophia saw blank blank sharks on their trip. She saw some sharks? That's kind of scary. What kind of sharks do you think she saw? Or how many? Which ones? She saw 2 scary sharks on their trip. Large gray sharks on their trip. Yeah, there's a lot of different adjectives that you can put in there. So, adjectives, right? Words that are used to describe a noun or pronoun, telling what kind, how many, or which one. They get to allow us to describe those nouns, right? Give some more detail about the people, the places. So as you're going around your house, how can you describe things, right? Use your 5 senses. Eyes, sight. Nose for smell. Mouth for taste. Ears to hear. And hands to feel, right? Think about those words as you're doing things in your daily life, right? If you're sitting on a couch right now, how does that feel? How does it smell in your house? Think about those things, all right? We're going to jump in just a second to our next one. All right, so now that we have talked about our adjectives, words that describe nouns, we're going to talk about adverbs. An adverb is a word that is used to describe a verb, telling where, how, or when. So, adjectives describe nouns, and adverbs describe our verbs. So today, we're talking a lot about describing. So here's some examples of some adverbs. Before, quietly, and everywhere. So these are words we can use to describe some of our verbs, right? We run everywhere. We walked quietly. Okay, they're describing the verb, the action that we're doing. How did we run? Right? So we're answering these questions. How did we run? Where? When? These are the things that we're looking. So let's bring in our handy dandy whiteboard to help make a little chart so that we can answer these questions of where, how, and when. So, where? Where is this happening? Right? Here. Outside. Near. Okay. There. How? How is it? How is it happening? Is it happening loudly? Easily? Okay. Sadly? Good. And when? When does it happen? Right? It's already happened. Since. Soon. Before. So these are some adverbs that can answer those questions for us. Where, how, and when. So, just like before, we're going to read some sentences and try and identify those adverbs. Now, we're going to take this one slow because this one can be kind of tricky sometimes. So, I always eat pancakes for breakfast. Question we should ask ourselves first is, what is the action that's happening? What's the verb in this sentence? Eat, right? We're eating pancakes for breakfast. That's what we're doing. We're eating. Now, do we have any words that describe where we're eating? No. What about how we're eating? No. What about when we're eating? Yeah, always can describe the when, right? I always eat pancakes for breakfast, right? So always is our adverb. Very good. Jack and Lucy happily play on the swings. Jack and Lucy happily play on the swings. So first, what is our verb? What is happening? What are Jack and Lucy doing? Good, they're playing. They're playing. So how are they playing? Where are they playing? When are they playing? There may be words that answer those questions. Very good. They're happily playing, right? It's describing how they're playing. Happily. Very good. I washed the floors yesterday. I washed the floors yesterday. This one's kind of tricky. What is the action that's happening? Good, wash. That's what you're doing. Washing the floors. Now, is there a word that describes where you wash the floors? No. About how you wash the floors? No. What about when you wash the floors? Good. Yesterday describes when. I washed the floors yesterday. So we can see here that adverbs don't always have to be directly next to the verb, right? In this sentence, we have happily play, but here we have washed and yesterday. So they can be separated by other words. That's what makes these adverbs kind of tricky, because sometimes there's other words in the way. So it's kind of hard to tell what we're looking at. Joe quickly ran to the grocery store. Joe quickly ran to the grocery store. What did he do? He ran. Well, you know he went to the grocery store. Do we know how he ran there? Good. He ran there quickly, right? Very good. Josie proudly showed off the rocket she built. Josie proudly showed off the rocket she built. What did Josie do? She showed off her rocket, right? The rocket that she built. How did she show it off? Good. She proudly showed it off. She was excited about it. Awesome. All right. Next up, we're going to be looking at some sentences with some blanks and trying to fill in with some adverb words to help make our sentences a little bit stronger. I blank ate all of the strawberries. What word could fit there to still make this sentence make sense? I already ate all of the strawberries? Could we describe when? I already did it. That makes sense. Could we describe how I loudly ate all of the strawberries? I messily ate all of the strawberries, right? We could do here, but does that fit right here? I here ate all of the strawberries. I near ate all of the strawberries. It doesn't fit in that spot in a sentence, right? We might be able to add it and change our sentence around to fit in that spot, but we want to fit in a word right here, right? I silently ate all of the strawberries. It was a secret. I ride my bike blank. I ride my bike blank. I ride my bike easily. I ride my bike quickly. I ride my bike over there, over here, outside, right? Very good. You guys are getting the hang of this. Please open the presents blank. Please open the presents blank. How should you open the presents? Should you open them slowly, carefully, quickly? I guess it depends on what you want to get, right? Yeah, but there are lots of different ways to open your presents. The book is blank to the table. The book is blank to the table. Next to the table, on top of the table, right? Where is it? Near the table? Right? The book is next to the table. That fits the best, doesn't it? Very good. Kyle blank sang in the car. He's singing. But how is he singing? How does Kyle sing in the car? Loudly? I know I sing loudly in the car. Happily? Was he very happy when he sang? Quickly? Right? There's lots of different ways that you can sing, but I think the best way to sing in the car is loudly, because that's the only place where people can't hear you. Very good. All right, so those are our adverbs. Today, we've talked about two different parts of speech. Adjectives, which are words that are used to describe nouns or pronouns, telling what kind, how many, or which one. We also talked about adverbs, words that are used to describe verbs, telling where, how, or when. So the words that we talked about today, adjectives and adverbs, they work together with our nouns and our verbs to help make stronger sentences. So by adding in adverbs and adjectives, we're adding in details to make our writing stronger. When an author adds these, they're adding in those details because they really want you to understand how things happened, the way things looked. They're trying to create that mental picture in your mind so that as you're reading, you can create a little movie scene, right? As I'm reading some of these sentences, I want you to see, can you picture it in your mind, okay? The large green watermelon was ready to pick. Oh, I can just picture a really big watermelon, right? We quickly cut open the watermelon to see the red juice flow out. Oh, I can picture that in my mind, somebody really quickly cutting it open because they're super, super hungry, right? We messily ate up all the watermelon, and our faces were covered in sticky juice. I can just picture it in my mind, just like a movie. So using these words, when authors use these words in their books, or when you use these words in your writing, you're really helping to create that mental picture for the reader, right? So that they can create these images in their head and really get to feel and experience the writing. They make a world of a difference in books, and that's why we love to use them. Now, you guys worked super hard today, and I am so proud of you. So we're gonna do a little cheer to celebrate. This is the Starry Night cheer. So I want you to hold your hands up in the sky and twinkle them like you see lots of stars. And I want you to tell yourself that you are shining so bright, because you are. Your brains are working so hard, and you are going above and beyond to learn about these parts of speech. And I am so proud of how hard you are working. So, today is Tuesday. We have talked so far this week about nouns. We've talked about verbs. We've talked about adjectives, and we've talked about adverbs. Tomorrow, Wednesday, we're going to talk about pronouns and conjunctions, our last two parts of speech that we're going to cover this week. And then if you join us again on Thursday, we're going to put it all together to see how they fit to make the most amazing sentences in the world, because they truly make a difference. So I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Go outside, have a little fun, and we'll see you again next time. Bye, everybody.
Teaching in Room 9 is made possible with support of Bank of America, Dana Brown Charitable Trust, Emerson, and viewers like you.